What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and today we will be reviewing three really interesting new cards that, for the most part, I have definitely a lot to say about them. I'm saying them, but again, it's only three cards, so it's really not like I'm gonna be covering 25 cards. But yeah, some of them are kind of sussy, so it's gonna be an interesting video. That's all I can really say. Anyways, before it starts, make sure you like and subscribe. You already know the drill, and now let's get right into it. So the first card is Bonfire. Very simple. It's a normal spell card. For some reason, you can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. I don't know why. Add one level 4 lower power monster from your deck to your hand. Why did it have to be once per turn? There's like 30 targets in the game, and the majority of the cards suck. The pyro monsters are so ass, so this could have not been once per turn, and it would have been completely fair. But yeah, now if you draw multiple copies of this card, it's not gonna be really good. But yeah, so for everyone who actually thought that you know, the Fire Charmer, Hita, the shitty one, you know, the level 5 that discards itself, was gonna be good in Volcanics, y'all are tripping. This card sucks, and it's still better, so yeah, not really good because Pyro monsters, again, are not the best. No offense, Pain, but yeah, you know, we can all agree on the fact that Volcanic needs support that is actually degenerate, not things like that, you know? You know, searching a card that makes you just search one card and then, you know, you set one back row is not really good. But anyways, moving forward, we got another interesting card. Speaking of fire, this card's pretty fire though. Flame Tongue, Jesus, the Blazing Magical Blade. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn, so the first effect is face-up spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. I mean, I guess this protects you from, I don't know, getting Twin Twistered or MST'd or something on like your rivalry or goes in match if you're playing any of these cards in your deck, but it's not like it protected your skill drain or something, obviously for slightly obvious reasons. And the second effect, you can target one of your banished fire monsters, any fire monster, including Ash or Inferno Decatron, which you can easily banish with the Infernos, etc. Add it to your hand, and if you do, you cannot activate the effect of cards with that same name for the rest of the turn. I hate when Konami implements this freaking drawback in everything. It's like, wow, I can recycle back a resource, but it doesn't matter because I can't do anything with it until next turn. Next turn, as if, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh was, you know, slow enough for you to be able to survive for a few turns. You're always gonna die, Bernard. No, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna die before you get to activate this card. Well, activate the card that you recycle back. So, yeah, this card, for the most part, is pretty useless, but again, if you can find a way to banish Ash and recycle it, then it doesn't matter that you can't use Ash for the rest of the turn because you can still use it on your opponent's turn. Not bad, not bad. And I guess you cannot activate the effects of cards, but you can still special summon whichever monster you banish. So if you can find a really crafty way of banishing Dogoran or something, or Kurikara, then, you know, it's an inherent summon, so you can, you know, recycle it back and actually do something with it. So definitely some nice potential that this card has. And it's relatively easy to summon, only 2 fire monsters. It's not super generic because fire monsters, let's be honest, they're not necessarily the best, but if you are playing a fire deck, at worst, you know, play 1 copy of this card, and at best, you still play 1 copy of this card, but at least it's gonna be doing something. Overall, I can't complain too much, but this, my friends, is going to be, you know, it's gonna be something. Overwrite the future with Over Future Fusion. I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. Alright, so yeah, Over Future Fusion. I wonder if it's a combination of Future Fusion and Overload Fusion. Control the spell card during your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Reveal 1 fusion monster from your extra deck and send 1 of the fusion materials mentioned on it by name from deck to the grave. And if you do, you cannot special summon monsters with that name nor activate their monster effects for the rest of the turn. Yeah, I don't know. This is very interesting. I guess it is, and if you do effect, so you have to successfully send a monster from deck to the graveyard in order to be locked. So very similarly to, shit, there was a really cool move with like shooting Riser Dragon where you could like banish a monster and then like send a monster under Shifter or something, or like Herald of Arclight, and then like it would be banished, so you could actually trigger the effect. Whereas if you actually sent it from deck to the grave, it wouldn't. So if you can banish this card, so if you're under Shifter or something, you can still like use the effects and special summon monsters with that same name. So it's not gonna be super relevant, but why not? I guess it matters if you get shifted when, you know, like you activate this card, you get shifted, the card gets banished, you can still play. Not too bad. Anyways, fusion summon 1 Dark Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard. Okay, so this is really weird because it's actually less good, less easy to activate than Overload Fusion in a way, but it doesn't matter too much because it only banishes the materials from the graveyard. Overload Fusion is from field and graveyard. Obviously, you can only use each effect of this card once per turn, so you actually get to use both effects of this card in the, at the very same time. Well, obviously, not exactly at the same time, but like you use the first effect and then you use the second effect. But yeah, one card can actually do two things, which is not too bad. It's not like it was, like you can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. That would have been like extreme dog shit. I would have been really freaking mad if this card had this annoying, drawback, but it doesn't, which, I'm gonna give Konami some credit for. But this card could have been, like, so much better. And, just because I am a Cyber Dragon fan doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be going easy on Konami, because why the hell do we have to be locked for no reason? Why did this card have to be generic when it's clearly supposed to be, like, a Cyber Dragon card, or at least, like, a Cyber Dark card? It could have said, like, reveal one Cyber Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck, because, the second effect is only trying to summon a Dark Machine Fusion anyways. So, like, ironically, you can technically Foolish for Fallen of Albaz with this card, but you're not going to be playing this card generically at all. And the Foolish aspect is also not really good. You're not really getting any value, and if you're revealing Chimera Tech, sorry, actually, I think the only monster that you can, yeah, you can still reveal like Chimera Tech Over Dragon or Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, and then send a regular Cyber Dragon from deck to grave, but it's not like you can send any other kind of Cyber Dragon monsters, because the only Cyber Dragon that is also a Cyber Dragon in the deck is, just Cyber Dragon. The other ones, they're only gimmicks in the field or in the graveyard, so that's really annoying. Konami really has to give us like a Cyber Dragon that's always treated as Cyber Dragon and has like a really broken effect. Like if this card is sent to the grave, draw 7 cards, your opponent loses the match, you win the tournament, and I don't know, like everybody owes you like $1,000. That wouldn't be too broken, honestly. But yeah, jokes aside, I can't really think of anything that is extremely good with this card, because again, like let's just say that you have this card and like Cyber Dragon Hurts or Core, whatever, like, or even like a regular Cyber Dragon going second. You go special summon Cyber Dragon and then contact Fuse, activate this card, send another Cyber Dragon, and then banish, summon the Chimera Tech Rampage, destroy 2 back row. And then you're going to be Foolishing for the Hurts and Core. You are not allowed to use the effect of Hurts in the graveyard to recycle back Core, because you cannot activate monsters with the monster effect of the monster that you Foolished. And unfortunately, Cyber Dragon Hurts in the graveyard becomes Cyber Dragon. This is not the same wording as Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave would be completely different, because it actually says original name. So if you go Called by the Grave on Cyber Dragon and I go normal summon Core effect, I do not believe it's gonna work, because Cyber Dragon Core's original name is Cyber Dragon Core, not Cyber Dragon. But yeah, this is so ass. Honestly, I really don't like this card. It's also not searchable. So it would mean that you would have to maybe play 3 if you want this card to, do something. Otherwise, it's just going to be like an awkward one-of. Back when Overload Fusion was a thing, well, when it was played seriously, it was because of Anaconda. So it made sense that you just played 1 copy of your in your deck. If this card was like a Cyber Future Fusion, if that was the name of the card, I wouldn't be complaining too much, because then you would have like a 1-card combo that gets you to a Rampage at the very least. Even if you can't send like Hurts and get like a resource, at least it would be doing, something. And it still summons Rampage that can attack thrice, but you're not really using any effects, you're negging a lot. And unlike Overload Fusion, this card can actually get MST'd, it can get Ogred, so it just introduces a lot of weaknesses in your deck that I do not believe you should necessarily be having. So, I don't know, like, I'm really not a huge fan of this card. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. It's very, very mid. It's not great. It's not complete garbage, but there is no way I can justify this card being like a really good inclusion and a revolutionary change to Cyber Dragon, unfortunately. It breaks my heart, because again, Cyber Dragon is the best deck, and I'm not biased, Bernard. It is the best deck. And this card, like I said, it's not bad. This card is obviously not bad, because I'm never gonna say, no to like a Rhoda, but a Rhoda that searches bad monsters is not the same thing as a Rhoda that, well, like actual reinforcement of the army that searches warrior monsters. Warrior monsters have always been good, so it makes sense that the card is limited. Just remove this restriction, and then I'm not going to be complaining at all. It doesn't have to be once per turn. Anyways, that's all I had to say for this video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. You need, please, to let me know your thoughts about all these cards in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.